pues ya nos vamos al barco, a uno de estos, a ver a cuál nos van a llevar, a dar el paseo. Acá está, aquí está, en este nos vamos.
Kind of combined. They're all over the Pacific Northwest, so we like to feature them in a lot of our drinks. If you are looking for a draft beer, we do have quite a great selection here today, but we just put on a Hefeweizen by Silver City. So that one's brand new to try for you. But my favorite is always going to be our blueberry cider. It's a cider girl, and the blueberry cider is fantastic. If you are looking for a treat or a snack, you are in the right place as well. Probably smelled that freshly hot popcorn when you came on the vessel today, but we also have some new additions like some delicious beef jerky and some new candies and such, so come kind of check that out. And if you're feeling extra hungry, we also have hot sandwiches and some hot pizzas as well. So kind of got you covered on all fronts, including non-alcoholic drinks, of course, as well. We've got soda fountain drinks. And you can get like a Diet Coke, regular Coke, maybe a ginger ale, spice it up for you. In a little bit here, we will hear from our captain and a little bit of safety information about the vessel. Fair closed. Mind you, the fair was 6 months long, so a lot of delays for the Edgewater, but they decided to lean into this idea of being right on the water and opened up a bait and tackle shop in their lobby, letting guests actually fish from their hotel room windows. Of course, that sounds really cool. That's how you catch a fish. Now you have a fish in your hotel room. Now what? Some people would put them in the bathtub with salt and water. That's not really how that works for saltwater fish. Others are also known to gut the fish in the rooms. So I think housekeeping was okay when that ended in 1980. So you can't fish from your hotel room there at the Edgewater anymore. But they still have another major claim to fame, and this happened in 1964 when a very important, very popular British boy band came, the Beatles. It was their first North American tour, and Seattle was second or third stop in, so pretty early in on their trip, and no other hotel wanted to take them in because of the security risks. Beatlemania was running pretty strong, and there's a lot of security risks when you got a lot of fans that want to get in on the Fab Four. But the manager of the Edgewater said, it's okay, we'll take them in. It's going to be great publicity, and we really have to secure the one side. Of course, little do they know, that means they also had to get, they got dropped by their insurance company day of and had to pay some pretty wild premiums to make sure the Fab Four could stay there. But it ended up working out pretty alright because a really famous image actually made into Life magazine of the Beatles fishing out of their hotel room window. So really cemented Edgewater as a rock star hotel, and like many others kind of stayed throughout that decade and that time. You can still stay in the room that the Beatles stayed in. They do play homage to that stay as well in that room. Now, Pier 70 here, smaller claim to fame. Anybody was watching MTV in the 90s, Real World Season 7 was filmed right here at Pier 70 because it was set in Seattle that year. If you didn't see it, didn't miss it, no worries. Just something that if you did watch the show, you would have seen Pier 70. We're out there too is one of our whale watchers, so they are keeping an eye on that. But yeah, so they do go pretty deep if they dive, so hopefully we'll see it again, but
ya no salió.
fine. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Ahí
that's not
separó
taking
aquel
every day, which is
barco.
kind of the best part about this trip. You never know what you'll see.
Ahí salió la ballena. Nomás que
Plus,
ya
we all
ahorita
saw this face, we'll see it
ya
again.
no sale. Ahí,
Yeah,
nomás
definitely
salió
dove
tantito
down.
y se perdió en el
But yeah, it's
agua.
probably a juvenile. That's what they've had before.
También la vio el barco que
We'll
está
see it
allá y
again.
se paró.
If you see it again, point it
A
out
ver
to your
si
neighbor.
sale otra vez.
Okay. We're moving our gaze kind of back to
No
the
salió.
starboard side. You will not hurt my feelings if you keep looking on the port side, but listen to the starboard side.
Nomás
So this whole park area, I'll see less and less of that there. Now, those silos are really in view now. About 4 million bushels of grain will be stored in those silos, and a bushel is about 40 to 50 pounds. So quite a lot of grain will be stored here on our waterway. And the grain itself, not really grown here in Washington. A very small percentage could come out of eastern Washington, that is our more agricultural side of our state. However, most of the grain is being grown out in the Midwest, and then put on trains here to be sent out of our port. And today's a perfect day for them to fill up this vessel. It's called a fair weather day, basically. It means there's no rain or moisture really in the air.
to get too close. In our opinion, the San Juan Clipper's a little close, but the whale, the humpback, is just to the left of the San Juan Clipper. So as we cross the bay here, you hopefully get a good look at it. It's got a few tail slap. There's a tail slap right there. So yeah, just to the left of the San Juan Clipper, which is off of our port bow. You see a sailboat in the background there too. It's kind of right in front of the sailboat.
So what I'll do is I'll let us enjoy our whale for a while, take a little bit of break, and I'll just come right back on in a little bit. Easy enough. I can take my break sooner. I'll wander around though, kind of answer questions, maybe point out the whale, maybe those who haven't seen it. So definitely go peek at the whale and enjoy.
¿Cómo se avienta uno de esos?
Que suba hasta arriba.
Rapaz, aquí está.
Entonces. 30, 20.
No, pero como es una ballena,
Lleva media hora.
quiere.
Porque empezó según a la 1:25.
Ya se paró aquí el barco porque salió una ballena y quieren verla. O queremos verla también. Allá está.
There it is, just to the left of the clipper down here, if you're not seeing it.
Derecho al
Little
edificio más
spout.
grande, ahí salió.
Just to the left of the Ferris wheel. If you're trying to orient
Anda allá por la
yourself.
orilla. A ver si la alcanzó a agarrar la cámara. Mírala, allá está. Allá va.
La golita.
Pretty cool. We were just talking about, I've worked here a lifetime, 32 years, and while I've seen a lot of orcas, I never get to see
Ahí va saliendo, pues sale poquito, viendo agua para arriba, pero
large whales. So it's pretty rare. I mean, really,
sale
you guys are getting
todavía.
quite a treat.
por ahí viene donde está el edificio más grande. Allá va.
Y nosotros hay que cuidar también.
Allá viene.
Oh, eso sí.
Ahí está.
A ver si la viste bien.
Pues yo la vi, pero quién sabe la haya agarrado.
Oh.
Ese es el
Yo la vi, pero
con Pablito bien huevoncito.
allí
Who's
va
ready
por
for the
donde va
perfect
la-
photo op with the whale and the Space Needle? Of course, you need the timing, but we'll see. I'm feeling lucky.
Allí se ve la agua donde se ve más,
Donde se está moviendo, ¿verdad? Donde se está moviendo.
allí derecho el edificio ese grande va por ahí. Aquel barco la va siguiendo.
All right. We do got to get in front of the inbound ferry, though. So hopefully we get a quick one here before we get going. So much more to see.
Vámonos, ya no salió. Ya no, parece que ya no salió. Ahí la va riendo aquel barco para arriba.
favorite times of the year, so I like to point that out to anybody who likes that kind of thing. But that being said, we are now officially at the halfway point. I'm gonna hop off again. I'm gonna see if anybody has any other questions. Today is everybody during that time in Wales. And then we will see kind of more industrial spaces on the second half of the trip. So go ahead, I'm gonna wander around, answer questions, break time, get more drinks or bathrooms, all that good stuff. Back in just a minute. We also have two of our Washington State ferries in the dry docks right now. And the way these dry docks work is they are hollow, so when it's time to bring a vessel in, they just open up a bunch of valves,
Están las
allow the
bocas,
water to rush in,
las bocas
get that
saliendo.
boat nice and snug in there, and then we'll pump the water back out. Pulls everything out of the water. It takes about an hour, so pretty quick process. These sea lions that hang out with us
De esas cajas que están ahí, vagones que ya no hay, ya dicen pues que no hay. Aquí está esta maquinaria con la que levantan estas cajas para cargar el tren. Allá, miren.
That's cool.
Allá
Like I said, I don't do
viene
that as often, so that's pretty fun. But you can see they're kind of like
esta
maneuvering
maquinita
those
para
and
cargar.
loading onto the vessel here.
allá está,
Everyone who works in the port
Ahí está
here is
otra.
a longshoreman unit.
Para cargar
Those that are up in the crane.
el barco ese.
It's a pretty sought after position, but you can't be scared of heights, of course. But I like to joke,
Allá
it's kind of like a really important game.
Allá
of
está aquel
Tetris
otro
and
barco
Tetris
lleno
together,
también
because they need to be efficient,
cajas
they need to be quick,
que
they
está
need to be
aquí
safe
cargando el
as
barco,
well.
la
And you can see
maquinaria
these
esa.
cranes are in use not only because we see them moving,
no.
but because these booms are
Acá están
lower.
otras.
That larger ship
Mire.
over on the right there, you see all
A ver
those
si no nos
cranes,
cae
the booms are
encima
up.
una caja de esas.
They're not actively working on this
Allá
vessel here. I wonder
está
if it'll be
otro
heading out
lugar
on
donde están
port here
cargando
shortly.
las
But as we kind of make our turn here, another
cajas
great
esas.
photo opportunity of Mount Rainier, Mount Tacoma, if you missed it. Kind of your last little glimpse there in the
un montón
distance.
de
Mind you, again, it is
cajas.
almost 100 feet away, so it really just kind of shows the scale of the mountain and how
Luego allá
large
también
it is out there.
la maquinaria aquella.
Also, as we make our turn on the right-hand side, you're going to see a large brick building with a clock tower. Very familiar siren eyes looking at you from the top of that clock tower. Of course, those siren eyes and start